Dave Gardy here, live for Golf Center TV on the Golf Center TV corporate couch with Bridget Bell and teaching pro Kirk Lucas. You know, they say golf's a head game. Give us a little perspective of some of the things that figure into the mental attitude and what you've learned, Kirk, and maybe Bridget could give us some anecdotes about that.
Well, the first thing is, it's a game that we attempt to be perfect at, and we have absolutely no chance of being perfect. So we're going to fail, and how does that failure affect us? And I think that that's the biggest difference between the best players and the rest. There's a lot of people that can hit it well, there's a lot of people that can putt well, and there's a lot of people that can chip well. And the question is, why don't we achieve our potential? Why don't we play as well as we're capable of? Why do I do great on the putting green but not on the course? Why do I hit it so well on the range and not on the course? Why do I play well when I'm playing with my buddies but not in a tournament? And all those things are things that we've learned that you can actually improve upon, and they make a huge difference in the outcome and the result of your score. And not only that, you enjoy the game so much more. So Bridget and I were talking earlier, and she's powerful, and she hits the ball well, and she strikes it nicely and hits it a long way, and she just doesn't feel comfortable in her short game. And why don't you tell us about some of the experiences you've had in your short game and how they've affected you mentally and emotionally, and we'll see if we can do better with that.
Well, there's lots of examples of times when I wasn't able to execute on my short game, but I'll just give you one for today. It was a par 3. I hit a nice shot, and it came within 2 feet of the pin. It was great. I felt very good about myself riding up in the cart. All I could think about was that putt. And when it came down to getting over it and lining it up, I hit it right by the hole. And I two-putted the hole, and then the rest of the day was shot. My putting for the rest of the day was off the entire time. And I think it just got to me mentally that I'm not confident in my short game.
Quite possibly it wasn't your fault. And that's something that the best players have learned that you haven't. There's all sorts of things that affected that ball. Dave Pell's lumpy donut. You know, if the ball goes up to the hole and the hole's raised, it's not going to go in. You know, quite possibly the ball hit a heel mark or a spike mark and bounced offline. Maybe your plan was just bad. Maybe you chose a left edge putt and it broke left, or whatever it could be. Maybe the speed of the putt wasn't what you had judged it to be. So what the best players do is they don't internalize the blame. It's not their fault. They did the best they could. They stood up to it and they rolled the ball, and if it goes in, great. If it doesn't, let's go on to the next hole. And therefore, it doesn't affect them on the next hole or the next day or the next round like it did you on that particular day. And the only thing that you can do is choose the line you want to hit the ball on and roll it at the proper speed. Mm-hmm. And from there, it's out of your hands. You have no control over it. It's up to the quality of the green, the quality of your green reading, if you chose the right pace, and all those choices factor in to whether the ball goes in. But it's not your fault if it doesn't.
Right.
So what you want to say to yourself is, when I'm the most nervous, what do I want the ball to do? What's the task at hand? Well, I want to roll the ball about 4 feet on this particular line. And if you stand up and roll it 4 feet on that particular line, that's all you can do. If it goes in, great. If it doesn't, you did your job. So it's not your fault. And that's the thing that we notice with the best players, is that they count good shots with more value than they subtract from bad shots. And amateurs are just the opposite. We remember that one bad shot we hit. We remember our failures. We don't remember the good shots. We don't remember our successes. And that's a huge difference in the attitudes and the emotional well-being of good golfers. And it's just a habit. It's something everybody can learn. So the next time that you go out to play, you know, keep a little scorecard. Did I hit the ball on the line that I wanted with the speed I wanted? And if you do, give yourself 5 points. Right. And if you fail to do it, subtract 1. So that at the end of the day, you're going to see, you know what, I did really well. I hit a lot of really good putts. I did what I wanted to do. And then all of a sudden, your attitude about your putting will change. And all of a sudden, you'll remember the good putts, and you remember the ones that go in. And you remember the ones that you hit just perfectly and it didn't go in, but it wasn't my fault. Right. And then you're going to think of yourself as a completely different putter than you think of yourself now.
And have more confidence.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And it's not stressful, and it's not depressing, and there's not that anxiety and anguish that comes with the other way of thinking. And after all, it's supposed to be fun. And it should be fun. And the more fun we have, then the better that we perform.
Well, thank you.
That's today. Let's try that.